Is this how you 3-axis gimbal? So here's the crazy thing about doing unboxing videos. You really only get one shot to do it right, because once you've unboxed it, that's it. I have one camera shooting the box, other camera shooting me. I'm very excited about this toy because this is gonna be really fun, because I'm pretty sure this is my DJI Osmo Mobile II. I'm very excited about this. So I'm gonna open this up. Oh my God, look at that. I opened it the wrong way. Look at what I did. That is a beautiful thing. If there's one thing you can always say about DJI's packaging, it is really lovely. Look at this. Osmo Mobile II. How sweet is that? We don't need any of this anymore. There it is. That's what it looks like. That's what the phone's gonna look like sitting in it. This is them shooting it in their profile mode, which, you know, everybody's been saying, oh, you can use those for Instagram stories. And you will never see me using this way. Let's open the box, huh? This thing is really nice. I'm very excited about cracking this thing open. So this first video is just gonna be an unboxing and looking at the inside of the box, what the actual Osmo looks like, because I've never actually held one. I've never opened one. I've never had one in my hand. I've never used one before. I don't think I've ever really used a gimbal in this way. I've used sort of those, you know, the bigger ones, like the hefty ones, the ones that you would see like on a film set or something, but I've never used one of these little gimbals. So we open up the top and we have, you know, documentation. We have, we're here to help DJI support. I will never read that stuff probably. This is not actually a carrying case. This is just a foam insert, but I guess if you wanted to use this as a case, you could, but I think you're probably gonna need a better case for this. So now we'll do the reveal. Oh, look at that. That is nice. It looks nice to me. I haven't put it in my hand yet, but oh, that actually, you know, that's funny. That feels really good. I'll say right now, it definitely feels like plastic. It doesn't feel like metal. I'm gonna throw that out of the way. But it definitely has some stuff about it that it feels like, I mean, that feels really nice. I'm very impressed with that. So here's what the gimbal looks like. So as you can see, it's got, you know, it's not a fully spinning gimbal. It has a lock on it, but this also doesn't spin all the way around. And in fact, it stops right hard there. No part of this spins fully. But I don't know that that's really a huge deal. I don't know how that's gonna work out in practice, if that's something that's really important or not. But, you know, this actually feels really nice, and like going over the features. So that's what it looks like. You've got the controller here, you've got the mode button here, record button here. You do all of the, so you access all the features through the mode button here. So you press the mode button to turn it on, and this, you know, will move this part of the gimbal, and this will do the recording. Then you have the dedicated zoom thing here, which I'm interested to see how this works with the camera, because as we all know, the iPhones use optical zoom. They don't actually have a zoom capability inside of them. So that's not really a great thing, but I mean, this actually feels like I'm holding this in my hand, and I really like the way this feels. I'm gonna be interested to take this out and try it. So it also comes with a charging cable, so you can connect this to an outlet, charge the damn thing. Oh, and it turned on. Uh-oh. No, the battery's dead. Okay, so I need to charge this thing. So as you can see, the Osmo Mobile II is charging right now via the USB micro port, and it is gonna charge for, I don't know how long it takes to charge, honestly. It could take a little bit because it seriously has like no power in it, but once it's fully charged, it can work for like 12 to 15 hours on a single charge. And on top of that, it can also charge the phone. Honestly, I care less about keeping the phone charged for long periods of time and more about the gimbal working. So if the gimbal works and it can charge the phone at the same time, that's an added bonus. So that took a couple of hours to charge. The thing is fully charged now. So if I press this, it should show a full charge, which it does, flashing the green light there. Now, in order to use this with this, you can just take this and put it right in your gimbal and turn it on and go to town. But if you really want to get the most out of this, you want to do this. You want to jump into this. You want to go into this. You want to go into the DJI Go app, and you want to set it up by going to scan the QR code. Is this, wait, maybe, is this just for drones? Do I need a different program for? Okay, I'm gonna double check that I have the right piece of software because I'm not entirely sure. DJI Go. Okay, so it's a slightly different app. DJI Go 4 is for the Mavic. DJI Go is for this, so it is two different apps. So I have to download the Go 3 or, yeah, whatever this other app is. So while we're doing that, I think, okay, so remember that documentation that I said I wasn't gonna read? Well, guess what? I'm gonna read it. So here it says right here on page 7, that's 7, you can't see it right there, but it's this section down here. It says, connecting the DJI Go app. Enable Bluetooth on your mobile phone, power on the Osmo 2, launch the DJI Go app, and follow the instructions to connect the Osmo Mobile II. I guess the easiest thing to do is that while this is downloading, I can put this into the Osmo. It's still downloading the, I think, okay. Powering on. Press and hold the power button for 1 second to power on and off. All right, so it's not balanced correctly at all. All right, so we're gonna turn it off. All right, so now it's off. So how do we, I would have thought I'd understand how to do this because I'm a kind of smart person, but I apparently don't have a clue. I figured out why the gimbal, this Osmo Pro, wasn't working, and it's because I have this oriented the wrong way. I thought this was profile mode. It's not. This is actually just wrong. So you're actually gonna unscrew this, lift this out, and turn it like this, and then you wanna put the phone into it and have it sit all the way at the bottom. That's what this little rubber foot here is for. So it's supposed to sit like this. And if you don't have it situated like this, the Osmo won't work. And then you just tighten that, set this up, fire up the DJI Go app. Okay, now that's moving freely. That's all good. Permission request, set all. Oh, I need to sign in with the thing. So GoPro. Why did I say GoPro? Okay, DJI Osmo. I guess they rhyme. Okay, I think we're good now. So finally set this up. The battery has been good and wasting while I do this. I'm gonna lock this down onto the Osmo. Okay, so here's the thing. If you have a Mavic or if you have one of the other drones, the Spark, the Air, the Mavic, the other one, an older Phantom 3 or something like that, you have to use the DJI Go 4 app. If you're doing this with the Osmo 2, you have to use the 3 app. I don't know why they haven't combined these together, but hopefully someday they will. So then you're gonna press this little button here, camera, after you've logged in. Yes, you want it to access all your stuff. Yes, you want it to sign your life away. Device list. So then now we have to turn this on here. We'll do this. Waiting machine. It's still not working properly. Pair. Okay, we're making progress. Next, activate. Connecting the server. It's doing something. I don't know what it's doing. Hey! Holy shit, it just like came to life. And the only thing I'm not doing is that I'm not recording anything on this yet, which I probably should be doing. Okay, so we're setting it back here. So right now it's in fixed position mode. So I'm recording you, recording me. So here's my camera, here's this, and this is not gonna move. So no matter how I turn, it's gonna try to stay tracking to this. Now, one thing I can already say is that it does not want you to move quickly. Like if you go like too fast with it, it's, you know, this is actually gonna look really nice if you come around like this and do that, but it really wants you to do it as smoothly as possible. If you start to, you know, get all like, oh, it'll handle anything, it'll freak out. You don't want it to do that. But it but it can keep up nicely, you know, in follow mode. And like if you know, so we'll stop there. So I've just made it so that it's actually focusing on me on the RX 100, and if I move this, it seems to be tracking it pretty damn well, which is crazy. And if I move it around, like it's actually drawing a box. It's drawing a box around the RX 100 to keep it focused on me, essentially. But it's actually not me, it's focused on the box of me. So I can have this going on right now. And that's just wild. That's just wild that it's doing that. And it's tracking really well. And it's also showing me a little microphone meter on here. Like this is really impressive. Oh, and guess what? The RX 100 is having its classic overheating problem, as you can see, because of the overheating symbol. So that's fun. So the other thing that I'm gonna do real quick, I wanna switch this to selfie mode. So that's gonna be 3 clicks, I think. And then I want it to track me. So I'm gonna tap on my face and it immediately snaps to my face. So now if I hit record, it should focus on me. Hey, how are you doing, beautiful? It's doing a really good job of like sticking with me. And that's pretty fantastic. Okay, so if you tell the Osmo to track your face, it's not gonna let you use the joystick. So you have to choose between one or the other. But if I were to exit out of this, so I'm gonna try to set this here to me. Okay, so now I have it set to follow mode, so if I move my wrist, it will go up and down. And so I can do this and rotate my wrist and have the same effect as the motion track, but it's different. Oh, and also, I wonder if this is a setting that you can make, but notice how like when you're doing it in selfie mode, left is right and right is left. If I move left with it, I have to point left with the joystick to counterbalance it. You'll need to spend a little bit of time getting used to the bits and pieces and the details of how this thing works. Now, the only thing that's disappointing about well, not disappointing, but the only thing that I have to be concerned about is that if I'm using the DJI app, which I'm using right now, it shows me the battery life of the gimbal, not of my phone. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rob from the Editor Future, editing this video together, and I did want to highlight one thing that has changed since I've recorded this video, which is I have used the DJI Osmo II with my iPhone recently, the iPhone X. I shot this video using the iPhone 7, and since using it with the X, I've noticed that the app has indeed updated itself thanks to DJI to where it will now show the battery life of the phone and of the gimbal together. They're two separate little icons that will show the remaining battery life for both things, which is awesome because that was really a problem before, and I've noticed this issue on other DJI gear where I'll use my drone or I'll use the Osmo and I'll have no idea how much battery life I have left, and by the time I'm done with it, I don't have a working phone anymore because my battery is dead. But this is very helpful. DJI, thank you for fixing this in the app. I assume it is the case for all phones now? So if you don't have an iPhone X, or if you have an 8 or 7, if the app is up to date, it should work. But if you are using an older phone and you're using an older version of the app, update to the latest version of the DJI Go app, and it should be working. Thanks, DJI. Right back to the video now. Here we go. It doesn't show me my phone battery life anywhere. So if the phone dies, essentially the gimbal is rendered useless. And I have no clue how much battery life my phone has, but it will show me how much, you know, I have. This is just fun to do. I wonder if, because you can't do this on the iPhone, but I wonder if, no, you can't do that either. You can't switch cameras between recording, at least not on the iPhone 7. I don't know if that's an iPhone 10 thing that you can do. But I gotta tell you, I'm very excited, and I think the one place we're gonna have to use it and really check it out and see where it sinks or swims is on the wall of nerd behind me. Okay, so I just did a couple of beauty shots with this thing. I gotta tell you, I'm impressed with this piece of hardware so far. It's not perfect. It feels, you know, like it's working against you at times. You just have to sort of wrap your head around what it will and won't do. 3 things right off the bat that I noticed. If you're using the face tracking feature on this thing, you cannot zoom in and out. And the fact that you have to switch between setting your lighting value or your tracking, you know, one or the other. You have to switch out of one mode in order to do the other. You have to make sure you set your lighting first before you set your tracking, and then you basically, like, I don't know, I didn't even check if you can lock in a zoom and then use the face tracking or object tracking. And that is one of the cool things. It's not face tracking. It can track any object. If you want to film something like this and you're holding this and this is the thing that you want people to, this has been on for like 8 hours. If you want to set this to follow a specific object, it will do that too. You just have to set your lighting, then set your tracking, then you can basically have to stop setting things on it because you can't use the zoom and you can't really manual track while tracking an object. Like if you want to use the joystick, you can. Another thing that I noticed that's a little bit wonky about it is that if you set this into a locking position and like you go like this, it doesn't really want to turn left or right. You have to bring it back here, turn it left or right, and then bring it down. Once you get down into this position, it really, you can still turn it like this, but in this position, left or right is not really an option. You have to do left and right here. Again, because it is not a free moving gimbal, it sort of has some limitations. But again, it's 120 bucks, guys. It is a damn awesome amount of features in a machine that feels extremely solid. Oh, I didn't even, you know what? I didn't even check. So here's the last thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn this thing off. And then the other thing I wanna do is I wanna take this out of here, put the gimbal down, and I'd love to see how much battery life. Okay, so here's the funky thing. I have like 0 battery life left on this thing. So that's one thing that I think is gonna be problematic with this thing, is that my phone feels like an inferno right now. And also it just significantly drained the battery life out of my phone. So the gimbal running Bluetooth on this, using this together, could be good, but it feels like I'm gonna have to have this hooked up to the Osmo. And I haven't tried that yet, so I'm gonna have to see what that's like, using the Osmo in conjunction with the phone, charging it from the Osmo, how that affects battery life, and all the other things involved. But yeah, my impressions on the gimbal so far seems really good. Enjoying it. I'm hoping it'll work well for me in Aruba. I'm worried that it's gonna just destroy my battery life no matter what I fucking do. But you know, in a non-scientific, overly, number-oriented way, could be really cool. Could be something really fun to use. So I look forward to using more of it, and that's gonna do it for me on this video. Like I said, please like and subscribe to the video if you've enjoyed this. This is actually really fun. I hope it was informative. I hope it made it easier for you to decide if this is something you think you can use in your videos or not. And if you just thought it was silly to watch this guy, fump around trying to make a tech video, then please, by all means, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you here. We'd love to have more people liking, subscribing, and commenting. And if you have any questions about the gimbal that you'd like to have me answer, or you have anything that you know about the gimbal that you think I should know about, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And definitely come back for the next video. I don't know when that will be, but it'll be a fun time that will be had by all. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Like, subscribe, and until next time, this is DarkSideRob saying peace out, friends.